Hey guys, so I don't know how about you, but my league is going pretty slowly. All the extra content and extra brain power needed to understand the league makes it feel like pretty slow progression, but I think I kind of like that. But nonetheless, I still wanted to do some kind of video about my current build, and it's not really a build guide video, it's more like a question which I'm gonna try to answer in my next video. And the question is it worth doing Ignite with Chieftain? I realized that I never really did an Ignite Chieftain, so I was curious to see if it would work, especially with the new skills which are basically physical converted into fire. So I picked Wave of Conviction. And if you just look at the numbers, it's gonna be way worse than the Fireball. It has less base damage, it doesn't have more damage with Ignites, and it even has less effective damage multiplier. So it is not about is it gonna be better, it's just about can it be decent. So far the numbers aren't looking that good, but that's why I'm also using Holy Flame Totems to add some extra single target damage. And yeah, I know Holy Flame Totems aren't the best thing, but I just wanted to play with them because I don't want to play with totem builds, so I know that I will not be using Holy Flame Totems as a standalone skill, but they are also physical converted into fire, so they do scale with Chieftain pretty well. They also do help cover enemies in Ash, or at least proc it more reliably. And they also leech life to me, and they also remove the curse. And they also proc Consecrated Ground, which does give regen. In fact, when I use Holy Flame Totems, I can recover my life almost as fast as using Flask, maybe even faster in some cases. The issue is that I don't have any investment into totem nodes, so my totems are pretty squishy. So I'm also trying to use Infused Channeling. By the way, Holy Flame Totem now has Channeling tag, but it cannot gain the infusion, so you're just only getting the physical damage mitigation and fire damage mitigation while channeling. And my totems are currently on a pseudo 5 link inside the helmet with Immolate. I am using multi-totem, and I do have a shield with +1 to extra totems, which is by the way very cheap this league because it rolls on a Shaper mod, so I do get 4 totems now. I also do have Venomous Sweep gloves, which I like a lot. And I actually had to get Avatar of Fire because Wave of Conviction is 25% converted into fire and 25% converted into lighting. And I don't want to use Stormfire Ring. So with Avatar of Fire I convert 50% of that 25% of lighting damage into fire. So I'm still losing some of the damage from it, but that is the trade-off of not using Stormfire. Mostly because I do need more life on a ring, because I'm using +2 Tabla. Initially I was planning on using a staff, but I really wanted to add extra totem. And it is much easier because you don't need a separate 6-link setup, so you don't really need to rely on RNG, and Tabla is pretty cheap option. And I think I never even used Tabla in the endgame, so I don't know if that's going to work or not. I do feel pretty squishy despite having, well, only 3 endurance charges, it's not a big deal. And I could get tanker after doing Uberlab, but I'll probably go with more damage option. Also, since I do have Avatar of Fire, I cannot get Equilibrium normally, so I am using Malakai's Artifice Ring and having my Lightning Golem proc Elemental Equilibrium. I still need to upgrade my weapon and couple jewels, get more levels. This is only level 79. By the way, Wave of Conviction is a bit unique skill, because in order to increase its effective AoE, you can do 2 things. Increase skill effect duration, or just get increased AoE nodes. Also, according to Wiki, it says that area of effect will appear to increase the wave's travel speed, while duration directly affects range while not changing the wave speed. So it seems like if you want to go faster, you kind of need to get wave to travel faster, which is to get more AoE nodes. And I must say, I don't really see a big difference. I took both Witch and Templar AoE nodes, but later refunded from Templar AoE nodes, and I don't really see any difference. And adding skill effect duration would add like 1 or 2 extra steps, so it's also not a big deal. And skill effect duration nodes are a bit too far away for me to reach them, so I figured it's not really worth getting them for me. Besides, I am using Lightning Warp this time, so that would mess up my Lightning Warp. I must admit that leveling didn't really feel very good with Wave of Conviction. Maybe because I played with the Degen build just before this, so this also kind of felt too similar. But now that I got most of my items ready, it does feel pretty smooth and quite visually pleasing with this Celestial Herald effect. One last thing, as you can see I only have 50% of my mana reserve and I don't use Mind Over Matter. and currently I'm only using Herald of Ash and Aspect of the Spider. Previously I was also using Clarity because, well, it does cost quite a lot of mana, and I thought that I need Clarity, but turns out I don't really need Clarity. So I may also squeeze in some other aura, like the Malevolence, but that would require quite a bit of management. I need to squeeze in Enlighten as well. I also need to get reduced mana reservation nodes from the passive skill tree. So there's still quite a bit of work to be done on this build, and I will most likely play another 2 or 3 days with this. By the way, we just got a patch to increase the map drop, so if you have been suffering with the map drops, maybe it does feel better now. The league itself still needs quite a lot of improvements and fixes. By the way, my Blight Casual Sharing Sovereign build, I did not post an updated video, but I did defeat all the Shaper Guardians and Shaper on a 5-link Deathless. It went very smoothly. So if you're looking at playing some Sovereign build, check my previous video. So for now, thank you for watching and I'll see you soon.